Hello to all of you viewers of The Pioneer. We continue to bring you updates from the hottest spots of the war. Recent dramatic events show that tensions in the region have increased significantly and the conflicts have become increasingly complex. In particular, Ukraine's attacks on strategically important occupied points stand out as effective operations that will change the course of the conflict. Today, we'll discuss one of these attacks in detail, the remarkable operation carried out by the Ukrainian army in an occupied nuclear power plant has created a shockwave for Russia. This operation has serious consequences for Russia, not only militarily but also politically and strategically. In particular, the death of the targeted senior Russian official as a result of this attack not only showed how effective Ukraine can be in the occupied territories, but also exposed Russia's security vulnerabilities in these regions once again. Given the strategic importance of the location of this attack, Ukraine's move provides important clues as to how the conflict in the region will be shaped in the future. In today's program, we'll take an in-depth look at this critical Ukrainian operation at this occupied nuclear power plant and its political and military repercussions in Russia. This attack clearly demonstrates Russia's weakening control of the occupied territories and Ukraine's growing influence in the occupied territories. While the political reactions following the operation have led us to reconsider the balances in the region, it remains to be seen what kind of strategy Russia will follow in the wake of these losses. Let's examine this issue together. Before we get into our report, a quick reminder. The Pioneer team is definitely 100% real. None of my team members or me are artificial intelligence. There is no doubt that AI is very advanced, but it's still not as good as us. By the way, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our daily reports and explanations. I also read all the comments you leave on our videos, so please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments. Tell us what content you'd like to see on the Pioneer channel. And now let us begin if you're ready. The Pioneer reports. On October the 4th, 2024, Ukrainian intelligence services released footage of an operation in the Russian-occupied city of Energodar. The footage shows a white car about to drive onto a main road when it's blown up by a violent explosion. Ukrainian authorities have said that the attack targeted the head of security at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, Andrei Korotkyi. There have long been allegations that Korotkyi was cooperating with Russian occupation forces and spying on pro-Ukrainian employees. His death is considered to be part of a large-scale retaliatory operation by Ukrainian intelligence against Russian supporters in the occupied territories. The Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant quickly became a strategic hub following Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Russian forces quickly took control of the facility, which was critical for both military and energy production capacities. At the time, many Ukrainian officials tried to resist the occupation, while others were forced to cooperate with the Russian occupation forces. Korotkyi was seen as one of those who cooperated willingly. He was accused of revealing the identities of pro-Ukrainian staff at the plant to Russian forces, making him a traitor in the eyes of many Ukrainians. The allegations that Korotkyi allegedly provided Russian forces with lists containing the personal details of the plant's employees showed the depth of his cooperation with the occupying forces. This information allowed the Russian occupation forces to more effectively carry out their repressive policies in the region. Ukrainian intelligence services organized this targeted attack in order to put an end to Korotkyi's activities. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry made it clear that anyone who committed war crimes in the occupied territories will be punished. Ukraine's determination in such operations and its meticulousness in selecting targets strengthens Kyiv's military and intelligence resistance in the eyes of the Russian occupation. This operation is an example of Ukraine's recent strategic offensive, which has become increasingly effective in the occupied territories. Kyiv's shift from drones to direct targeted strikes has become a key factor in the success of the operations. Accurate information provided by intelligence services prior to the operation makes Ukraine's attacks on critical targets under Russian occupation more effective. Such operations have the potential to turn the tide of the war against Russia. Karotky's assassination reverberated widely in Russia. The killing of a senior official responsible for the security of a nuclear facility has once again exposed the vulnerabilities of the Russian military in the occupied territories. Moscow faces serious problems in consolidating its control over the occupied territories. Such targeted attacks, especially by Ukraine, reveal Russia's military and political weaknesses. While it remains to be seen what kind of measures Russia will take against such operations, this attack may cause Moscow to reconsider its occupation strategies. While this attack on Energodar continues to be discussed, Ukrainian intelligence has released another video. This footage shows an attack on the Federal Security Service office in Novosibirsk, Russia. The footage shows an unidentified person breaking a window of the office and pouring a flammable substance inside, after which a fire broke out in the building. This attack shows that Ukraine is capable of carrying out operations not only in the occupied territories but also in strategic locations in the Russian interior. This attack on an important intelligence agency such as the FSB shows that Ukraine's operations are effective over a wide geographical area. Ukraine's attack has once again demonstrated that even Russia's internal security measures have serious flaws. Russian authorities have not yet made an official statement about this attack. However, such attacks by Ukraine could create a security crisis in Russia's internal regions and cause Moscow to reconsider both its military and security policies. Such Ukrainian operations in the occupied territories and inside Russia show the war has not only a military but also a strategic dimension. Targeted attacks on collaborators like Karotsky symbolize the determination of Ukraine's resistance. Such operations are considered one of the most critical moves that determine the course of the war. These activities, both military and intelligence, reflect Ukraine's strength and resilience against Russian forces in the occupied territories. What do you think? How effective are such targeted operations by the Ukrainian army in the occupied territories in changing the course of the war? Why is Russian intelligence unable to adequately counter these Ukrainian operations? What are the main reasons for this weakness? How do Ukraine's attacks on collaborators and strategic targets contribute to increasing popular resistance? What are the consequences of Russia's difficulties in maintaining security in the occupied territories? Let me know in the comments. I read and care about your opinions.